Let's move on now to the Indianapolis Colts in our rookie preview series, where Ryan and I, we will break down why this rookie will have the biggest impact on the Colts 2023 season. But before we do that, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button and also ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new content. We have a goal of getting to 2,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season, and we are just a couple weeks away. We will be having a bunch more content coming out between now and September 7th. Also, too, once when the season starts, Ryan and I we will be having a fun season-long competition where we will predict and make videos on every single NFL game. So if you want to follow our competition, see who wins, and see all of our Colts predictions, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, as it is the easiest way to get notified. And Ryan, let's get into it here. Similar to the Texans, I think that there were several good draft picks I think that we could have talked about as potentially having the biggest impact. But it's hard to go against when a team drafts a quarterback in the top 5 and there's no quarterback really competition. I mean, maybe Gardner Minshew is a little bit of competition for Anthony Richardson. But similar to Stroud, though, just with my philosophy, of course, obviously, that doesn't mean anything when it comes to the Colts decision-making. But you need to start Anthony Richardson and trial by fire. You need to get him out there because I think the only way he's really going to get better is if he makes mistakes and then keeps learning from them. And seeing that progress throughout this year, because you picked 4th last year for a reason. Part of it, too, was your head coach, which you don't have anymore. But I think you're probably going to pick close to 4th again, just with how this team is set up. And offloading some veteran players. Some of it was for contract reasons. But I just think you're probably going to end up in this spot anyways. You might as well get your rookie a full year of experience and kind of keep improving from there. And so what are your kind of thoughts and overall expectations of Richardson kind of coming into this rookie year?
Yeah, so we're, I think, pretty much on the same wavelength here. I think you get him in early. I think if they run a Philadelphia-esque style offense from like a season or two ago, when Philadelphia was running a lot of bootlegs, like play action, things to kind of throw the defense off kilter, maybe make the field, like divide the field in half, make it a little bit easier for Anthony Richardson to read, things like that. I think that's when we'll really see Anthony Richardson thrive, because he's not having to make 4 reads, right? Like in the pocket, he can move around, use his athleticism to create, and then the dude can sling it. So if he gets a guy that breaks through the defense on a bootleg, how far can he throw it is how far the guy can run. Also, in terms of the running game, I think he makes this offense a lot harder to defend, just because with Gardner Minshew, he's handing the ball off or he's passing it. There's not really an elusiveness threat in the backfield, or like when he has the ball in the backfield, that Anthony Richardson definitely presents. I think you look at what Philadelphia did, even on like the QB sneaks, getting Jalen Hurts in just favorable blocking matchups just by snapping the ball directly to him and then using him as the running back. I think Anthony Richardson presents a lot of opportunities to do very similar things.
Yeah. Well, just sitting here thinking about it, like the RPO is going to be deadly. I mean, Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, if this offensive line can improve from last year and really just be average to maybe slightly above average. And then, honestly, if you look at the receiving core, I do like the receiving core. They're young. I think Michael Pittman is a consistent number 1. Alec Pierce, I think, has a lot of potential, especially with his speed. And then they did draft Josh Downs, who was another potential rookie that we could have talked about to have a big impact on the year. But he's just a consistent slot receiver as well. So I think there's a lot of options that this team's going to have. It's going to take probably a year, I think, for them to really get in sync and get in the same rhythm with one another. But I agree, like everything that you mentioned, with the overall just freakish athleticism from him and his arm strength and the fact he can truck any linebacker. He's running downhill. It just really makes this offense. It makes you really wonder about the overall potential of this offense. Like, you saw how good the Eagles were, as you mentioned. And Anthony Richardson, at least from a freak athletic standpoint, is just a little bit more than Jalen Hurts, which is kind of scary to think about.
Yeah, he is. People talk about unicorns going into the draft, and like, he is as much of a unicorn as I think you can get. He is Cam Newton's body with Lamar Jackson's speed and agility. Like, it's just insane. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. You mentioned Josh Downs. That's a guy that I really like in this offense as well, especially creating space underneath for Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce to get up the field. One guy on the other side of the ball that I really like is Julius Brents. He held his own against Quentin Johnson when Kansas State played TCU. For me, him and Darius Rush, who's another rookie that the Colts got, I think in like the 4th round, which is a steal. I really like both of those guys to come in and be able to make an impact on the defensive side of the ball. Both big, long, fast corners. And, I think the Colts, they have a ton of good talent. I think they drafted really, really well. So I like what they're bringing to the table in 2023.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on who your favorite Colts rookie is going to be to watch in 2023. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.